I'm alright. Just got done putting the steering angle sensor or the steering torque angle sensor in this power steering column control module assembly. On this particular model, they take the motor and everything that helps with the power steering assist and they build it all in the actual shaft underneath the dash right here. So whenever you're going in there to replace this sensor, it's very, very, very difficult to get everything perfectly. I mean, everything has to be, the stars got to be aligned, the moon has to be turned a certain way, or else whenever you go to key on, the motor in this thing will take the steering wheel, and if your hand's in it, it'll rip your hand off. Well, it won't really rip your hand off, but it'll hurt you. And everybody says what they do is they just order the lower $1,500 section of steering column, and they just charge the customer $1,500 because it's already timed and the motor and everything's already together in one piece. I didn't want to do that. I just bought the $200 sensor, and it's about 2 hours to do it and do it correctly. And I just took my time. It went together perfect. No issues. The motor's not leaking. It's nice and quiet. Resealed from last night. And now just gonna do a test drive and then I'm done. Then the customer can come pick up their vehicle. It is, all of the guys were telling me, don't put the sensor in it, don't put the sensor in it, just replace the lower half of the steering column. And I was like, you know, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel comfortable charging a customer $1,500 for something that I may be able to charge them $200 for, part-wise, and then just put a couple hours labor into it, pull the steering column apart, and replace the part that's broken or that's malfunctioning. And it hasn't even really been beat up or contaminated. It's actually still a good part. So I'm going to give it back to the customer instead of keeping it for like diag purposes. And I retimed it for them. I put the pin and everything back in. It just malfunctioned. I think they said twice over the lifetime of this vehicle since 2012 they've had this code set for this sensor, but all of the garages that they took it to didn't want to do it. They didn't want to separate the steering column control module or the steering column assembly just to replace this sensor. And they said they finally just brought it to the dealer to have us do it, and I took care of it for them. That's a huge thing too, guys. I know people don't like going to dealerships because of the amount of money and because they say, you know, the upsell stuff. But there's a reason why I'm able to do this without any issues versus somebody else that doesn't even want to tackle it. It's because this is what I specialize in. This is the type of stuff that I do. So I just take care of it. And the customer just saved about $1,500 coming to me and letting me do it. It's for a 2012 Escape, all-wheel drive. 3.0 liter V6 Duratec. I resealed the motor and stuff last night, put new oil filter, everything in it. And then this morning, I worked until, you guys seen, what, 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning? I went down the street, grabbed something to drink and something to snack on. I ate real quick and then I fell asleep in the car. And I slept in the parking lot for about 4.5 hours, and I got up and I went right back to work. Jumped right in this thing, got the sensor and stuff replaced, test driving now, and then going on to my next motor reseal job. You know, a lot of people are intimidated by electronics and sensors and things like that. You know, it's not an intimidating thing if you just take your time and slow down and just breathe for a second. Breathe and learn the system. You know, I listened to other Ford technicians last night online that was talking to me about this job. I listened to other technicians that have done this job before, and they're like, oh no, just replace the lower shaft, just buy the $1,500 part, charge it, you know, sell it to the customer. Why? Why does that make any sense? Learn how to do the job. Take your time, breathe a little bit. Follow the instructions step by step. Just go nice and easy. You become more powerful when you become more knowledgeable, and you can in turn relinquish that information to somebody else and help them. Just breathe. Just take a second and just look and see what's going on and relax. Follow your instructions step by step by step. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. This has been out long enough to where the instructions were spot on. I'm going to have some video footage up of you guys seeing me do this so you guys can see how tedious this is. It's not an easy job, but it's not a hard job. It's kind of like an in-between. It's kind of like a mind screw over anything. It's nothing difficult. Anybody could do it. But it's just about more mentality. Going into this, it's going to screw you up. And then when you're done and you go to turn the ignition on and the steering wheel goes to spinning all crazy because you were just a tad bit off when you installed your sensor, you can actually pull the steering. In the workshop manual, it says to remove the sensor and discard and start over again. You don't really have to do that. If you get an idea on how you were off by putting the wheels back straight after it goes crazy, after you do a key cycle on, put your wheels back straight and then slightly pull your sensor back off, unsnap it from where it sits inside the housing, you can actually move that sensor forward and back to kind of get an idea on where you were off and re-put the timing tool back in it and start over again. You're fine. But they tell you don't do that, replace the sensor. You don't actually have to do that. Why do you think I was able to retime this, the one that was in the vehicle, over again? It was just off a tad bit. And that's why it set the code and caused the power steering to go out one time on these people, because it was off just a little bit, came out of adjustment. You love the electric steering in your F-150. I mean, it's handy, but they have their issues. If you don't keep a good battery in it, if you don't keep your voltage up all the time, if you're letting the vehicle run low with you sitting in it with the key on, that low battery voltage can really screw up that power steering control module, that whole assembly, that EPAS, the electronic power steering assist. A good battery all the time is critical on that vehicle. And a lot of people think that they can get by, well, I'll just do it every 4 or 5 years as it's slowly degrading. And you're right, you can. But it's nice to keep some kind of preventative going to where you're constantly making sure that battery is really up to par by cleaning it, by having it load tested and stuff. Whenever you go in for your oil changes, make sure the battery health is always good, because these modules 1000% rely on it now. If you have a bad battery, you can screw up multiple modules and just cause all kinds of problems for yourself, thousands of dollars worth of damage. There's a ground down there by that module too that goes from that module casing over to the frame. You need to make sure that ground is good also. How did the sleep go? I fell asleep at about 5:30 and I woke up at 9:45 in the parking lot. Somebody knocking on the window after I clearly told them to leave me the fuck alone. I worked until 5 o'clock in the morning, damn near. Don't bother me. Don't do anything. Leave me alone. When I wake up, I wake up. Nope. Sure enough, somebody came knocking on. I didn't know if you wanted me to. No, I told you guys to leave me alone. Sure enough, they wake me up. After I clearly said to not do it. If I'm going to put my time in to make sure you guys are taken care of and the customer's taken care of and bust my ass like I am, then give me that much respect and do the same for me, because I'm really working myself to death for this company. And I love my job. But at the same time, if I make a request and I tell you don't do this, that means don't do this. Do not bother me. I'm going to go sleep in my car for a little bit. When I wake up, I wake up. Anyhow. But got the vehicle put back together. It's running good. Always the focus is the customer. So it's running good. Everything's Everything's checking out. No squeaks, rattles, nothing. The steering wheel, new sensor and everything in installation. But nerve-wracking, but went very good. Well, JL, I'm sure you've seen last night. I was live for about 4 hours or something like that, because I was trying to get this motor finished, and I clearly told the service writer, the head service writer, whenever he came in at like 3:30 in the morning, and I was still working in the shop. I don't want nobody to bother me. I want everybody to leave me the fuck alone. Nobody bother me. If I'm gonna put this kind of work in for you guys, you need to leave me alone. And they didn't do it. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere. I woke up getting out of the car, pissed off and everything else. Then you have to go in, get started on the job disgruntled and pissed off because people can't at least respect you enough to listen and fulfill your wishes. So, yeah. When it comes down to it, they want their money closed out. They want their tickets closed out. It makes them look good. It's today's payday for us, and close to the end of the month, so it makes everybody look better. I don't really need a break. I just go until I can't move. I like that new TikTok song from that guy. Where he say, I don't really need a break. I just go until I can't move. Something about, I don't know, cop a feel and take off to Cancun. Uh, I know you guys have heard that song on the sub. Well, it's very, very popular on TikTok. Do I ever want to be a service manager? I wouldn't mind being a service manager. I think I'd be a very, very good service manager because I understand the system. I understand how everything works. I understand how the technicians need to be taken care of. I understand how the customers are the number one priority. And I think me being a service manager, it would be very, very powerful for the business because I do understand how everything needs to balance. And I understand how to make that the end goal. I know how to achieve the end goal. So I think it would be a good thing for me to eventually end up in a position like that, just because I'm very good at what I do in handling things the way I handle things. I know when to turn it on, when to turn it off, when to let the customers go and fire them, and when to rectify and put situations based on maybe some misunderstanding or lack of information. So I think I would be very good at it. A good person. Hey man, how are you? Vehicle's running good, the one we were working on last night. No leaks, no nothing. Heading home? No, I'm not heading home. Test driving that vehicle last night that I was resealing the engine on, and this morning woke up and put the torque angle or the torque steer sensor in the EPAS system in the steering column. Oh yeah, I feel it's real good. Healing real good. Doesn't itch or anything anymore. Sunday they're gonna pull the stitches out. I really want Burger King today. I want junk food today for some reason, really bad. Or tacos. Yeah, I'm gonna see how far I can get. I'll probably work until about 4:30 today, and then cut out. The customer knows that on this last motor reseal job, because of how much stuff has to be done to this vehicle, that it's probably not going to get done today. I'm going to go as far as I can on it, and then probably 4:30, 4, maybe 4:30ish. Oh my God, yes, Aaron. Whopper with cheese, dude. It's been so long since I even had one. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to work all day. That's for sure. You know, the sad thing about all this is they told me that I undersold this job. That even though book time says it's like a 7.5, 8 hour job to reseal this motor, it's actually more like a 10 or 11 hour job. That book time has like cut down. Even technicians that have been doing this for a long time, still it takes them 10, 11 hours to do it. And it took me right at about, I want to say, 8 hours to do the reseal. It was like 4 hours online with you guys and 4 hours on my own. And that was just kind of taking my time and going real nice and easy. Making sure everything was super clean. I really want Burger King, so I think that's. Look at this old Ford right here. All blue striped out, lowered. Oh God, it's all ragged out. Never mind. Ugh. Got her what? The steering, the torque steering sensor, or the motor. We just found out we got another guy that tested positive for COVID at the dealership. So that's one guy that just got back from getting over it. Another guy just tested positive for it, and then another guy tested negative twice for it, but he's out with like the flu or something. Double Whopper with cheese. Oh my God. You guys are gonna kill me here. I'm gonna get something like that. I just don't know what it's gonna be yet. Get it, go back, call the customer up, tell them they can come pick up their vehicle, and then get started on pulling the oil pan and exhaust, probably everything on the top of the motor, and then the front cover on this. Escape I have, this 14 Escape I have back at the shop. Scotty live streaming, probably passing false information out. Yeah, Scotty's yeah, anyway, I haven't talked about him in months, and I don't want to start. It's been more than months. I probably closer to 4 or 5 months. fuel injector cleaner every 10,000 miles to a 2020 Escape Turbo 3-cylinder? I mean, you could. It wouldn't hurt anything, but as long as you're using top-tier fuel, you ain't got to worry about that. Fuel injector cleaner is not really going to help you very much with, you know, a brand new vehicle like that. What you need to be doing about every 10, 15,000 miles is just a basic induction service, so those valves get a little bit clean, because there's no port injection, so your valves aren't getting cleaned on that motor. It's all direct injection. I'm pretty sure the 3 and 4 cylinders don't have dual injection like the V6 and above does. Yeah, I think they're just direct injection. So the valves, even on the new 2020 and above model, they still get dirty. So just a basic induction service, valve cleaning induction service is what I would recommend. Well, guys, at this moment, the test drive is done. If you want to get off, you can get off. If you want to stay, I can stay, but I'm just going to order my food and drive back. It's up to you guys, whether or not you want to be here for it or not. Kind of weird, right? Can I get that number 2, that Texas double Whopper with cheese?
You don't want cheese on it?
With cheese.
With cheese? Okay. What size do you now?
Large, please.
To drink?
Diet Coke.
Large diet. Anything else?
That's it.
Your total will be $50. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't like regular Coke. I like Diet Coke. And although everybody talks about aspartame, this shit's been around since 1980. And the only studies that have ever been done are on mice. And they gave mice 9 times their body weight in volume of what a normal person, like a human being, would have to cause any kind of side effects. So I don't worry about all that stuff. I like Diet Pepsi the best, but a lot of these restaurants and stuff, they don't even have, what do you call it, Pepsi products. A lot of them don't, unless you go to the independent joints, like, that have like gyros and stuff like that, like the independent hot dog places. A lot of them will use Pepsi products, but the mainstream ones, like the big name places, a lot of them, it's just all Coke products, and I hate it. I like, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking bad about Coke products, but I like Pepsi products better. I like RC over everything, but you really can't find RC unless it's at like a hot dog joint or a submarine place or something like that. RC is, kind of what I grew up on. Oh, I didn't even realize they did. I didn't know that, Aaron. I think I'm gonna have to get a new debit card. The other day I stopped and I got a Diet Coke at Wendy's, and they swiped my card and it came back declined like 3 times. I had to wipe the chip off like 3 times because of having it in my pocket all the time when I'm working. It's really got the card like screwed up. Thank you. Have a nice day. Oh yeah, the Jimmy John's Italian nightclub sandwich is amazing, and the gargantuan. I like to get the gargantuan, but I do an unwich without the bread. I just have them wrap it in lettuce. Oh my god, so good. Come on, buddy, don't go out. Damn squirrels. This ain't my drive home, buddy. And even if I did, I don't really care. What are people gonna do? They're not going to be able to do anything. And a lot of people already know kind of where I live. They don't know exactly where I live. They don't even really know what town, but they just know where I work. That's it. I know you are, but I'm not worried about it, dude. I stay strapped all the time. Somebody wants to try to fuck around and find out, they can. Early on, when I first started my YouTube channel, I would get a lot of threats from people. But as my channel started to grow and I started to get a more of a foundation subscriber base, all that stuff kind of went away. A lot of the threats stopped. Because I think people are worried about my friends and stuff being on here that will try to protect me and people standing up for me. This is like the worst intersection that you can turn on here, because you got people coming from Taco Bell, people coming from Walmart, people coming from what is this? I forget what this place is called over here. Tractor Supply. Then you get people coming out of AutoZone. You got people coming out of all these. So the road stays busy all the time. I do sleep. Nah, that's not the AutoZone from the other night. The AutoZone from the other night is the one down the road about maybe three or 4 miles from where we're at, the direction we're going. How am I feeling? I feel like shit. I complete dog shit. Feels like my head is foggy now because I didn't sleep enough and I got woke up. I'm in a very moody kind of attitude right now. I don't really want to hear anything from anybody at work at all. So I'm glad people they just know. They're just leaving me alone at work right now because they know I don't feel good, because I haven't had enough sleep. So I feel like shit, but it is what it is. What am I gonna do about it, There's a ton of haters, man. People say, even people that you guys like. So I know other people that are creators on different platforms, but they won't create accounts on YouTube for some reason. And some bigger names that really help a lot of people out that are very, very nice, like in general on YouTube. I've seen some of the screenshots from them communicating with other people that we would typically like, that we think are nice people. And, one guy said, hey, you keep promoting those snap-on tools, but what you don't tell people is that if a snap-on handle breaks, the rubber comes off of it or something like that, that's not actually warranted. That's going to come out of the customer's pocket. The part that's warranted is the actual working mechanism part, like the head. And he said, I've tried to do that over the years, warranty handles and stuff out, and distributors tell me all the time, that's not warranty. Only the head part is, the ratcheting part. So we'll replace that, but we're not going to replace the handle material and stuff. And one of the bigger creators got all stupid and flipped out on him and stuff and blocked him from the channel and everything else because he was being honest about how it actually operates instead of what this creator was promoting. And the creator's actually a really nice guy. But when you actually started talking about something that he believed in, and it was drawing the conclusion that it's not as he promotes it as, he blocked the guy immediately and said a whole bunch of negative stuff to him. And he's actually a friend of mine. He's another senior master tech for Toyota. Actually, he's Mercedes certified and Toyota certified. The guy's a brilliant guy. He's got like one of those kind of like weird ADHD kind of mind setups and stuff like that, where he's very sensitive to electronics and very sensitive to diagnostics, and that's kind of his thing. He was just trying to have a conversation with the guy, and the guy just got all nutty with him for no reason. And he was like, that guy comes across super nice and stuff like that, when really he's a jerk behind closed doors. Like, he's really, really, really bad. I don't want to mention names because I'm not trying to dime people out, but just trying to draw emphasis to the people that you think you know. If you don't actually know them and you're not a part of their life, you'd be surprised that they're not actually the people that they come across as online. One good thing about me and the people that know me here, that actually physically come and see me, actually have, they have a relationship with me in my personal life. A lot of guys on here, a lot of customers on here that know me outside of work and stuff, I'm the same no matter what. I'm the same asshole on camera and off camera. I don't change. There's a lot of people on here that are fake as fuck, man. And they only do it for the views, and that's it. I just do it because it's just part of my life now, man. My channel's not exploding like some other people, some of these other fake channels and stuff, but that's because I'm me, and sometimes people don't like it. Well, I'm back, and I'm going to do one final check of everything that's going on, and I'm going to release it to the customer. So I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to get over to this other job and start doing some work on that. And that's pretty much it. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all. Job went well, and that's all I can say. This is me signing out. Hooah.